Ladies and gentlemen, listen, they hate you when you win. That's the rule of the universe. You thought success would bring applause. It won't. It brings resentment. It shines a light on the weaknesses of everyone watching. When you rise, when you break free from average, you expose what they could have done but were too lazy, too scared, too weak to do. And what does weakness do? It hates strength. Always, when you win, when you rise above the rest, when you build something powerful out of nothing, you trigger something deep inside the people watching. Understand this clearly: their hate isn't about you. It's about them. It's about what they see when they look at you, because you have become the mirror that reflects their failures, their missed opportunities, their wasted time, their excuses. You see, the average person lives in a constant state of denial. They tell themselves stories: I could be rich if I wanted to. I could be fit if I had time. I could be successful if I didn't have responsibilities. They wrap themselves in these comforting lies because it shields them from the cold, brutal truth. They chose comfort over greatness. They chose laziness over discipline. They chose to watch rather than do. Then you come along and you win. You grind when they sleep. You hustle when they make excuses. You rise while they stay flat. And suddenly, the lies they've told themselves no longer hold up. Your success proves that their excuses are worthless, and that makes them uncomfortable, that makes them angry, that makes them hate. Let's break this down deeper. When a man or woman achieves, when they master a skill, build wealth, or create impact, the people who didn't will respond in predictable ways. They could choose to be inspired. They could choose to learn. They could choose to say, if they can do it, I can do it. But no, that takes humility. That takes courage, and courage is rare. What's common is envy. What's common is resentment. Because that's easier. It's easier to hate than to self-reflect. It's easier to call you lucky or arrogant or dishonest than it is to admit, I could have done more. That's the uncomfortable reality most won't face. And here's what's even more dangerous. Many of these people will pretend to be your supporters. They'll smile in your face and clap when you're around, but behind closed doors, they'll belittle your achievements. They'll downplay your work ethic. They'll whisper he had help, or she just got a break, or it won't last. Because again, your success shines a spotlight on their mediocrity, and they can't stand the glare. Your winning reveals their losing. Your discipline highlights their laziness. Your results expose their inaction. That's why they hate. That's why they try to tear you down. It's not personal, though it will feel personal. It's psychological. It's their defense mechanism to protect their fragile ego. And here's the paradox: the bigger you win, the more they hate. The more visible your success becomes, the harder they'll work to tear you down. Why? Because now your existence is a threat to their comfort zone. Every car you buy, every milestone you hit, every goal you crush, it's like holding up a scoreboard of their failure, and no one likes being reminded of that. But listen carefully, this is the cost of greatness. There is no path to winning where everyone loves you. That's fantasy. That's fairy tale nonsense. The real world rewards the strong, and the strong always attract envy. You must learn to see hate for what it is, a symptom of your progress. When they talk, when they post, when they gossip, when they doubt, that's proof you're ahead. That's proof you're doing something worth noticing. Because no one throws stones at an invisible man. No one attacks the guy who's sitting on the couch doing nothing. They attack the man building the empire, the man stacking victories, the man becoming the example they could never be. And here's the lesson: don't waste energy trying to change them. Don't argue, don't defend, don't explain. That's what they want. They want to drag you into their emotional pit, because that's where they feel powerful. Instead, channel your energy into more winning, into more mastery, into more dominance, because the truth is, if you stop now, they won't respect you. They won't thank you. They'll just move on to hating the next person who wins. Their hate isn't about you. It's about their own limitations, and you're just the reminder they can't ignore. So let them hate, let them talk, let them post. Every second they spend focused on you is a second they're not improving themselves. Every word they speak against you is a word that reveals their weakness. And every bit of hate they throw your way, convert it into fuel, burn it, let it drive you, let it push you further, because the world doesn't belong to the complainers. The world belongs to the winners, and if you're getting hate, congratulations, you're winning. Keep going. Hate is the price of greatness. That's a truth as old as time. You see, no one in history who truly achieved anything remarkable did so without gathering enemies along the way. It's impossible. The higher you rise, the more you stand out, the more you disrupt the comfortable, mediocre order of things, and that disruption attracts hate like moths to a flame. Look at any great man or woman in history. The kings who built empires, the inventors who reshaped the world, the warriors who conquered, the entrepreneurs who created industries, every single one of them was hated by the masses at some point. Why? Because their greatness disturbed the status quo. Their greatness reminded the ordinary that extraordinary is possible, and that threatens those who chose to stay ordinary. The world claims to celebrate success, but that's only true as long as success stays small enough not to make people uncomfortable. The moment your success grows so big that it changes the game, that it forces people to look at themselves and question their choices, that's when the love turns into resentment. Why do you think people worship legends long after they're dead, but crucify them while they're alive? Because it's safer to admire a winner when he's no longer a threat. When he's gone, they can put his face on a poster, quote his words, and pretend they respected him all along. But when that winner was breathing, when he was dominating, when he was proving everyone else wrong in real time, oh, they hated him. They tried to discredit him, mock him, sabotage him. And this is what you need to understand, that hate is the cost of playing at the highest level. If you want to stay hidden in the crowd, unnoticed, unchallenged, sure, no one will hate you. But the moment you decide to break free, to rise, to become exceptional, that's when the daggers come out. Let's take it further. The reason hate comes with greatness is because your success forces a confrontation with reality. When you build an empire, when you create massive success, you destroy the illusions people cling to. You make it impossible for them to keep lying to themselves. They can't tell themselves no one can win in this system because you did. They can't say it's too hard because you made it look easy. They can't say it's impossible because you're living proof that it's possible. So what's their response? They hate. They mock. They try to bring you down because tearing you down is easier than building themselves up. They try to make you the villain because it's the only way they can justify their failure without looking in the mirror. You'll hear them say, he must have cheated, she got lucky, they had connections, anything to avoid admitting that while you were grinding, they were making excuses. While you were working, they were wasting time. While you were focused, they were distracted. But here's the part that separates winners from the rest. The greats expect the hate. They aren't surprised by it. They don't complain about it. They welcome it. Because they understand that hate is a sign of impact. Hate means you're shaking the system. Hate means you're being noticed. Hate means you're winning at a level that demands attention. In fact, if you're not getting hated, you're probably not playing big enough. You're probably not pushing hard enough. Because when you go beyond average, when you break the limits, when you win in a way that can't be ignored, the hate comes naturally. It's the tax you pay for building something remarkable. So the next time you feel the sting of hate, remember this. It's a confirmation, not a condemnation. It's proof you're on the right path. It's the sound of mediocrity screaming in pain as you leave it behind. And every second you spend worrying about that hate is a second you're not spending on your mission. Greatness doesn't care about opinions. Greatness doesn't stop to argue with critics. Greatness doesn't need approval. It builds, it dominates, it wins, and it lets the hate bounce off like rain on steel. The real question isn't will you be hated, because you will. The real question is will you keep going despite it? Will you let their hate fuel your hunger, sharpen your focus, and harden your will? Will you rise so high that their hate can't even reach you anymore, because that's the only way? You don't overcome hate by fighting it. You overcome hate by winning so completely, so undeniably, that it no longer matters, and that is the price of greatness. It's not paid in comfort. It's paid in resilience, in sacrifice, and in your ability to keep moving forward while the world tries to pull you back. So remember, if they hate you, it's because you matter. If they hate you, it's because you're making waves. If they hate you, it's because you've chosen to be great, and that terrifies them. Embrace it. Let it push you and keep building your legacy. Weak people hate strength. That's not an opinion, it's a law of human nature. The world is built in a way that celebrates comfort, ease, mediocrity. Look around. Everything is designed to make people soft, to make life easier, to lower standards so no one feels left out. Society today tells people they're fine the way they are even if they're weak, broke, undisciplined, lazy. The lie is everywhere. You're enough, don't change, don't push, don't strive. And when someone breaks that narrative, when someone decides to be strong, to aim higher, to dominate, it offends the weak. You have to understand why. Weak people want to believe that life is about fairness, that no one should have more power, more skill, more discipline, more success than they do. They want a world where no one rises too high because that would force them to look at themselves. That would force them to admit they could have done more. When you show strength, real strength, you become a living reminder that greatness is possible. That strength is earned, not given. And that terrifies the weak. Because if you can do it, if you can break the limits, then what's their excuse? What's their justification for staying small, staying soft, staying average? Weak people don't hate you because of what you have. They hate you because of what you represent. You represent discipline. You represent focus. You represent power. You represent everything they could be but chose not to become, and so their only weapon is hate. Because they can't beat you in the gym, they can't outwork you in business, they can't outthink you in strategy, the only option left to them is to talk, to mock, to try to pull you down to their level. And here's what's really sick. They'll try to make you feel guilty for being strong. They'll call you arrogant. They'll say you're toxic. They'll try to convince you that your strength is somehow unfair or harmful. That's their trick. Because if they can't rise to your level, they'll try to drag you down to theirs. But here's the truth: the world doesn't belong to the weak. It never has. It belongs to the strong. The people who build, who fight, who lead, the people who have the courage to aim higher and the discipline to back it up. Strength isn't just about muscle or money. Strength is a mindset. It's resilience. It's the ability to keep going when everyone else quits. It's the refusal to bow to mediocrity. And when you have that, the weak will always resent it. Because deep down, they know they could have chosen strength too, but they didn't. You'll see it everywhere. The man who gets up early, trains hard, builds wealth, sets high standards, he's labeled a villain by the weak. He's too aggressive. He's too focused on winning. He should relax, slow down, take it easy. That's what they'll say. But what they really mean is, he's showing me what I'm not willing to do, and I hate that. Let me give you the harsh reality. If you want to be strong, if you want to win, you must be ready to stand apart. Because strength isolates, it separates. The stronger you get, the fewer people will truly understand you. The fewer people will support you, and the more the weak will try to pull you down, but that's not your problem. Your mission is not to make the weak comfortable. Your mission is not to shrink so they feel big. Your mission is to become as strong as you can be physically, mentally, financially, spiritually, because that's what winners do. The weak will always outnumber the strong. That's reality, but numbers don't matter. 1,000 weak voices can't stop one strong will, and in the end strength wins. The strong build the world. The strong protect the weak even when the weak hate them for it. The strong create the future, so let them hate, let them talk, let them call you names. Their words are powerless. Their opinions change nothing. You're not here to please them. You're here to win, and here's the final truth. Strength isn't given. It's earned, and every day, every choice, every action either makes you stronger or weaker. There is no neutral. The weak choose easy, comfort, excuses, and then they hate the strong who chose hard work, sacrifice, discipline. Don't fall for their lies. Don't water yourself down to make them feel better. Stand tall. Be unapologetically strong, because the world doesn't need more softness. The world needs leaders, builders. Warriors, people willing to do what the weak won't. So embrace your strength, keep rising, keep building, and let the weak hate, because that's all they have. You have power, and that makes all the difference. Winners don't seek validation, they seek results. That's what separates those who rise to the top from those who stay trapped in the cycle of approval, seeking, waiting for someone to tell them they're good enough. The world is full of people desperate for likes, applause, and praise. They waste their energy trying to please the crowd, trying to fit in, trying to be accepted, and do you know what happens? They stay average. They stay small, because the moment your focus shifts from your mission to the opinions of others, you've already lost. Ask yourself, has a champion ever been crowned because the crowd liked him? No. A champion is crowned because he won, because he put in the work, mastered his craft, and outperformed everyone else. That's the game, and the moment you start caring about approval, you stop playing to win and start playing not to lose. Here's the trap most people fall into. They think success is about making everyone happy. They think if they're polite enough, agreeable enough, likable enough, the world will reward them. But that's not how reality works. Reality rewards value, reality rewards results, and if you want to win, your mission must come before their applause. When you focus on mastery, when you focus on discipline, when you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, the results speak for themselves. And here's the irony. The crowd's approval might follow after you win, but it won't come before. People don't cheer for potential. They cheer for victory. They don't clap for your plans. They clap for your results. And along the way, you're going to face critics, you're going to face doubters, you're going to hear people tell you to slow down, to take it easy, to be more balanced, and not because they care about you, but because your ambition makes them uncomfortable. Your focus reminds them of their distractions, your progress highlights their stagnation, and instead of learning from you, they'll try to pull you back. That's why winners tune out the noise. They don't need constant reassurance. They don't need people to tell them they are on the right path. They know because they see the results. They feel the growth. They see the empire they're building brick by brick, day by day. And here's the hard truth. If you chase validation, you'll never be satisfied. Because the crowd is fickle. Today they'll cheer, tomorrow they'll boo. They'll love you when you win, but the moment you stumble, they'll turn on you. If your self-worth is tied to their approval, you'll be broken the moment they withdraw it. Look at history. Look at every great builder, leader, fighter, creator. They didn't wait for approval. They didn't ask for permission. They acted, they built, they won, and that's why we remember them. Focusing on mastery means waking up every day with one mission. Get better, get stronger, get smarter, improve your skill, improve your discipline, improve your execution. That's what winners do, and if people don't like it, too bad. If people say you're too focused, good, that means you're doing it right. You have to understand approval is cheap. Anyone can hand it out, and most of the time it comes from people who aren't even qualified to judge what you're doing. Think about it. Why would you base your sense of worth on the opinions of people who have achieved nothing? Why would you let the words of the weak affect the path of the strong? That's why winners stay locked in on their mission. They don't need applause to keep going. The work itself is the reward, the progress itself is the proof, and the victory at the end, that's the only validation that matters. Here's the mindset shift. Stop asking, do they approve? Start asking, am I improving? Stop asking, do they like me? Start asking, am I getting results? Because when you measure yourself by results, by progress, by mastery, everything else becomes noise. And let me tell you this, the moment you stop chasing approval, you gain a power most people will never know, the power of self-trust, the power of focus, the power of indifference to the opinions of the mediocre. That's the power that builds empires. That's the power that wins wars. That's the power that makes legends. So make a decision today. Are you here to win, or are you here to be liked? Are you here to build, or are you here to beg for praise? Because you can't do both. The world will not hand you greatness for being agreeable. The world will not give you victory because you're polite. The world gives victory to the ones who take it. Focus on mastery. Focus on results, and let the crowd's opinion change like the wind, because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is, did you win or did you lose? Every insult, every doubter, every critic, every piece of hate you receive, that is free energy. People don't realize it, but when they speak against you, when they try to tear you down, they are giving you fuel, they are handing you power. The problem is, most people don't know how to use it. They get emotional, they get distracted, they let the hate slow them down. Winners do the opposite. Winners take that hate, that negativity, and they convert it into action. They convert it into discipline. They convert it into success. Understand something. Hate is a gift. It's raw, untapped energy that the weak throw at the strong, and it's yours to use. When someone doubts you, what they're really doing is giving you an opportunity to prove them wrong. An opportunity to outwork them, an opportunity to rise so high that their words can't even reach you anymore. Think about it. When people hate, what are they doing? They're focused on you. They're thinking about you. They're talking about you. Meanwhile, you're focused on your mission. You're building, grinding, growing. That's the difference between the winner and the hater. The hater wastes time watching the winner. The winner uses the hater's energy to push harder. Every great achiever in history understood this. They knew that hate comes with the territory, and they learned to love it, because what's the alternative? Silence, indifference, that means you're invisible. That means you're not doing anything worth noticing. If they're hating, you're making waves. You're creating impact, and impact always draws criticism. The key is to expect it. Don't act surprised when people doubt you. Don't act hurt when people insult you. That's weakness. That's what they want. They want to see you react emotionally. They want to see you break focus. Because if they can't beat you at your game, they'll try to pull you into theirs. Don't fall for it. When they say you can't, show them you can. When they say you won't, prove that you will. Every word they speak against you is a challenge. And if you're a true winner, you don't run from challenges. You rise to them, you crush them, you use them to sharpen your edge. Let me tell you something important. The most powerful form of revenge is success. Not words, not arguments, not fighting with critics. Winning so completely, so undeniably, that the people who hated you have no choice but to watch. And that's the best part. When you win, they can't ignore you. No matter how much they hate, they'll have to see your results. They'll have to live in the world you built while they wasted time trying to stop you. Every insult they throw, let it remind you to work harder. Every time they say you're nothing, let it push you to become something they could never be. Every time they mock your dreams, let it fuel your determination to make those dreams real. Because hate is only power if you learn to use it. Weak minds crumble under criticism. Strong minds turn criticism into motivation. That's the difference. That's the edge you must have. You don't need their approval. You don't need their love. You don't need their praise. All you need is your mission and their doubt, because their doubt will keep you hungry. Their hate will keep you sharp, and don't just use their hate to fuel the grind. Use it to fuel your discipline. When you feel tired, remember their words. When you feel like quitting, remember their faces. When you feel like slowing down, remember how they said you'd never make it. Let that burn in your chest. Let that drive you forward, because here's the truth. Hate is a resource, and like any resource, it can be wasted or it can be harnessed. Most people waste it. They get emotional, they argue, they let the hate distract them. But winners harness it, they channel it. They use it as free energy to go further, faster, harder. So let them talk, let them hate, let them doubt. While they're focused on you, you're focused on the mission. While they're busy trying to tear you down, you're busy building what they could never build. And when it's done, when you've won, when you've built the empire they said you couldn't, they'll still be talking. But by then it won't matter. You'll be too far ahead for their words to touch you. That's the game. That's the mindset. Every hater is a gift. Every insult is fuel. Every doubt is a stepping stone. So don't fear hate. Don't fight hate. Use it. Let it power your ambition. Let it harden your resolve. Let it be the silent engine behind your victories. Because in the end, hate only has the power you give it. And when you use it right, there's nothing more powerful. Here's the truth you must carry with you. They hate you when you win, and that's exactly how it's supposed to be. If no one hates you, you're not winning at a level that matters. If no one resents you, you're not pushing hard enough. Every bit of hate, every insult, every critic, it's confirmation that you're on the right path. It's proof that you're rising above the noise, above the crowd, above mediocrity. You must learn to expect it, to welcome it, to use it. Let their hate sharpen your focus. Let their doubt fuel your ambition. Let their weakness remind you of the strength you've built through discipline, sacrifice, and relentless action. Don't seek their approval. Don't slow down to make them comfortable. Don't waste a second explaining yourself to people who will never understand what it takes to win. Let them talk, let them hate while they watch you work, while they complain you build. While they doubt, you win. In the end, greatness doesn't come to those who are liked. Greatness comes to those who are unstoppable. So be unstoppable. Win so big, so completely, so undeniably that their hate fades into silence. And when they look up, all they'll see is the empire you built while they were busy trying to tear you down. Remember this, the hate is free energy. Take it, use it, and keep winning. Because in this life, the strongest, the most disciplined, the most focused will always rise. And that will always make the weak uncomfortable. Let it and keep going.